What's up, Thrallers? Miller.
Shredlord.
Jammin Jon.
Necrotic Nick.
Rin.
And we are the Thralls of metal. And of course, it is that time of the week, new release time. And we got Go Ahead and Die.
So this is the first album from Max Cavalera's new project that he actually formed with his son, Igor Cavalera Jr., so there's no confusing with the other Igor. Now, this actually formed earlier this year in Arizona, where Max lives right now, and they recruited the drummer from Chemist and Black Curse, Zach Coleman.
Which was a good choice.
Which was a very good choice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, this comes out on Nuclear Blast Records, again, debut release, and, well, obviously, if you've been watching the channel, you know we got a chance to sit down and BS with Max, and he pretty much kind of gave us like a little bit of an insight on this album, how he wanted to do something like raw and aggressive again, kind of going back to like that early death thrash sound. And honestly, like this is just a really interesting listen because this is almost kind of characteristic of like the birth of extreme metal in general. Like,
Absolutely.
Yep.
87.
Yeah. 87 to like
Early
91.
91, 92, somewhere.
Good era.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of the best things ever were created during that time frame.
Yeah. And I'm talking like, you know, Scream Bloody Gore, Morbid Tales, Seven Churches, Bathory. It really kind of latches on to all those things and right
all
away.
The good parts.
All the good parts.
All the good parts.
I don't see any bad parts, honestly, in that. I love all that stuff. But yeah, I think this is one of the heaviest things he's done in a while. And I mean, with the first two tracks, which were singles, Truckload Full of Bodies and Toxic Freedom, these things are thrashy, ugly sounding, bits of death metal peppered in there.
Yep. Little bits of grind, little bits of punk, like it. Yeah.
It's pretty much all things extreme, and they actually tapped Arthur Ritsk to do the mix on here, which he's definitely known for his work with Tomb Mold. He did both Power Trip albums and Outer Heaven, and he's known for a really raw, like kind of just gritty, almost like
an analog style.
like demo quality.
Yeah.
But, you know, well mixed, separated, and this is just a nasty sounding album.
It's heavy. Heavy all the way through, man.
Total grime. You get that old like Napalm Death, and like it's just screams like Florida scene death metal and some of this stuff. Amadeus does some killer vocal like writing.
Yeah.
You know, his vocals are awesome. I love this line: "Brainwashed minds behind every crime turn their eyes blind to the grime."
It's a good rhyme scheme, too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful when a father and son can get together to tell the world to fuck off. It's a very magical thing.
Yep.
Or Go Ahead and Die. You know, I think we've moved beyond fuck off with this one.
Yeah. Just cease,
Go ahead and die.
cease to exist.
Just stop it.
Fuck off. It's too nice.
Yep.
For this.
You're right.
Because this album is just straight balls to the wall. Just everything you love about, like we said, the 87 to 93-ish era, like everything good about that. And sprinkled a little Motorhead in here and stuff, you know?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of DB sort of like Discharge, Doom, sort of like crust punk in there. Like when he wants to get like sort of like, you know, like I want to say Celtic Frost groove because Celtic Frost is a huge part of this. Once you hear the opening riffs on Isolated, Desolated, that just flat out screams Tom Gabriel. There's even a in there because that's you can't do a Celtic Frost song without that.
So the first four tracks really seem to mimic that early part of the spectrum we were talking timeline-wise, but to me, Prophet's Prey and On is like another gear into this whole album. Like they were holding back a little bit on us because as soon as that song starts and all the way pretty much damn near till the end of this album, there's just another gear that it goes into and the fucking heaviness and the riffs.
It gets
just
heavy as balls. He's right, it's not in the first half. It's almost like like they wanted to throw a curveball at you, like, all right, it's gonna be punky, it's gonna be thrashy. No, just kidding. We're gonna kill you.
But I like the little kind of incline to it. It's a lead into the album. It's an album.
Yeah, it builds.
It's an album.
This album makes me want to cut all of the sleeves off of my many, many black t-shirts.
Don't do it. You'll devalue them.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of Biden bucks on them. Should have invested. El Cuco's kind of got like a napalm deathy kind of vibe going. The slow and slower napalm death.
El Scum. That is almost the Scum riff.
Which is Monster, and this song makes me scared of the monster. The breakdown made me shit my pants.
We had to move away a little bit.
But they were camo, so...
No.
Right.
A little bit more brown in one section.
So we've been talking about heavy. The song Punisher.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Punisher.
They're making bacon with Macon on this. I think this is where Max pulls out all the stops as far as heavy on this record is concerned.
Pissed.
Pissed. Dude, balls out for Max and Igor. Normally it's for Harambe, but this time it's balls out for Max and Igor.
Well, it's dicks out.
Yeah.
So
Goodness gracious. I want more of this song on this record, and I mean, I got it. Because the record just continues to be just heavy.
They dry hump
smack.
the
Yeah,
riff.
dude. There is no lube on the rest of this album.
Oh no, it goes in dry.
Man.
And the ending of this, what I like too is they're not afraid just to keep riffing, man, and ride it. But there's enough going around it, happening around it, to keep it moving and progressing
Get all
in
ugly
a
face.
natural way, and it's not like abrupt or anything.
No, you just throw in like another layer on top. You want to keep that strong anchor there, that big chunky riff. And I love like pretty much all the riffs on here. They're not super technical at all.
yeah.
Very simple.
They have the weight
really-
of 1,000 fucking fists.
But that's it.
But that's how you do it. If you set out to make meat and potatoes, that's how you do it.
Yeah, you want a
That's
steak
delicious.
the size of like,
It's a tomahawk.
fucking raccoon.
Yeah. Yep.
Amadeus is killing it on guitar and vocals. Like I said, I've already complimented his writing. It shows that he actually writes, in the lyrics. It's some of the best lyrics on anything I've seen Max on.
There's a lot of shining talent on the album.
Yeah.
I think it's some of the best work Max has done in years.
And it's not all just gut-punchingly heavy. The title track itself, Go Ahead and Die, has a really strong, dooming, kind of melodic vibe to it.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, dude. That riff in the beginning is
The harmonies,
pretty.
it's honestly
Yeah.
the most melodic section on the entire album.
Yes.
Like the rest of this is just repeatedly beating you in the head with a 2x4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real subtle harmonies too. It fits with the mood and the
They stop to
tone.
make you, drag your face to smell the roses and then continue on
This
to
is
the ass beating.
This is the song that reminds me of the old Death Grooves, like Scream Bloody Gore era.
The only gripe I would have about the sound, this snare was dialed in really well. The kick and the bass, because those two things together, they sound really good together. They mixed really well, and the sounds of them complement each other. The only thing I have a problem with the kick is it gets a little slappy when it's real quick.
Yeah.
There's a little slappy to it.
Yeah, like
there could've
maybe
been-
maybe just tighten the drum head a little bit.
Well,
too, because if you got that real loose drum head, and especially if you're running two beaters on a single kick head, you're
Gonna get natural.
yeah, dude, you're
sag.
gonna get that natural slap sound
Right.
if the head's loose.
After banging your head to this, your head's gonna be loose.
Oh yeah.
And then really tight.
Oh dude, this album wrecked my spine. And I think a lot of that is also due to the drum work on here. Zach Coleman, honestly, I'd only heard him drum in Chemist, really.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
slower. That's, it's doom metal. A little bit
But
on
it's
Black
good.
Curse, but oh my god, on this, he's doing, D beats, big
Blast
thrashy
beats,
blast.
dude. Yeah, there's
The blasts are tight and breakdown city. I mean,
Ah.
it sounds like he's just beating the hell out of those drums.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of stomp moments. Like I thought Joe was gonna go through Nick's kitchen floor.
I was stomping my ass.
Yep.
Someone was gonna have to hold my O'Douls.
But I love like all the old hardcore nods on here. Again, like Discharge and Doom. Worth less than piss. Of course, Toxic Freedom and In the Slaughter Line all have like just nasty old school hardcore groups. Like
Yep.
definitely some exploited in there too. The energy on this is just nuts. And honestly, like most of the time I was listening to this, I kept thinking about Nail Bomb and how it was just this one-off album that was just full of piss and vinegar. And this might be this generation's Nail Bomb.
Yeah.
And you're lucky because this is kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of album from Max. At least as it stands, I don't know if he'll continue on with this project. I really hope he does.
Yeah.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has that same sort of energy, just raw, stripped down riffs. It's all about the aggression. It's all about the heft. And I think the fact that there's like a focus on everything going on, like 2020 and 2021, how horrible that year and a half has been. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to complain about and a lot of stuff to get pissed off about. And they definitely did. They came through on this 100%.
And so overall, for me, this is a 4 or 5 out of 5. This is everything I like. So why not? It's the best of metal from 87 to 93, anthology. The only problem I had was like the kick drum a little bit slappy. The guitars could have I like the volume of them, but I thought maybe the like 2K shelf could have been raised like a half dB, and I thought that would have brought them up a little bit. Yeah, right.
Nerd alert.
Yeah.
Audio files.
I am a nerd for audio. I love sound. I love music. If that would have been up a little bit, it would have brought the guitars just a little more crisp, and they would have bit through a little bit more. I like everything the way they had it. Just a little bit of boost, because I love guitar. I love hearing them play. You know, the bass is dialed in really well, like I said, with the kick and everything. But 4.5 out of 5.
Also 4.5 out of 5 for me. Like I said, I think it's one of the personal best things that Max has released in the last probably at least decade, I would say. This brings home a lot of nostalgia for me as far as sound is concerned too. This is, you know, it reminds me of early on when I got into metal, and it has a new sound too, but it really hones in on an era of metal that was near and dear to my heart. Even the minor gripes that I had about the production, as far as maybe the guitars being a little bit distant, you know, that was a beginning take for me. And once I got to the end of the record and was able to look at it from a whole perspective, I thought, well, that all makes sense. It all sounds like it should. It has varying levels of intensity. It's a good ride. 4.5. Do it. Buy this record. Listen to it.
I am going to give it a 4.5 as well. I don't know. I really didn't have any like giant expectations for this, honestly, because, you know, like, all right, it's a fresh new project, but sitting down and listening to this album, this is one of the heaviest things I've heard him do in years.
Yeah,
and
in a very long time.
This cool amalgamation of all things like extreme from a certain era, like, you know, elements of grindcore, black metal, death metal, thrash metal. I feel like I grew up with this album, even though it was just released today.
That's what I was saying. Like,
and I don't know, like it's just so raw and heavy, and I think honest is also a word for it. It's got its pretty much targets set and directed with maximum hostility. This album is just fucking relentless. It will not let up. Just when you think it will, it won't. It's going to punch you in the face again. Go out and get it. I already got my copy, and I'm going to jam the hell out of it.
I also will go 4.5. Thanks again, Max. You did it again.
No shit.
You added another gem, another ring on the finger, gem in the thing. The
Shrimp on the Barbie.
Shrimp on the Barbie. That's Brazilian.
Yes.
Not like the wax.
That's the southern portion of Brazil.
Southern Brazil. They koalas and such. The riffs are brutal. Father and son screaming, not safely. They're gonna hurt themselves, but it sounds great. Sometimes pain is pleasure, and their pain made me happy.
Yep.
I like it. Maybe you'll be happy too. Buy a shirt, buy a CD.
Overall, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. This is an excellent fucking album. There is non-stop crushing riff after crushing riff after crushing riff. The end is never in sight. You are not safe throughout the entire album. Brazil's favorite metal son took one of his own little cubs and brought him into the metal world, and what a fucking grand entrance for this kid, man. And he knocked it out of the park.
Circle of life.
It's in the genes, it's in the blood, and together they are stronger. 4 out of 5. This is a fucking riff factory.
Yep.
Absolutely. And it's really cool to see father and son coming together, and it shows that when you get two people that love something, and then you combine with the fact that they love each other dearly, it shows in the love of the music, and it amplifies everything.
It's a bonding experience.
Well, and plus you have that interesting dynamic where, you know, obviously the younger child is probably into, you know, different avenues of metal that his father would not be, so I'm sure he's shown him bands, and then for some reason Max watches us and finds other bands, and like you can see a culmination of not only the last, you know, 40 years, but of you know, now too. It's a perfect. Yeah,
it's a really good partnership there, and Amadeus is really good at writing.
I'm reasonably sure he was going through his dad's records. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
You know what?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Your dad's got good taste.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can vouch for your dad's taste.
Sames.
Yep.
So, if you like this video, hit subscribe, little notification thing. And we are on Patreon, link below for that. Lots of good, fun stuff on there. We're going to amp that up a little bit. We have t-shirts, too.
And one more thing. We have a giveaway going.
Yeah,
because
6,000.
we are oh so close
Like,
Oh, so
A
close.
sea hair away.
A sea hair. Well, last time we were a sea hair. Now we're like a
trimmed
cut that-
sea hair.
Trimmed
Yeah.
sea hair. Away from 6,000 subs. Once again, thank you so much for that. This
Yes, thank
continues
you.
to get fun and exciting, and you guys definitely keep it alive by, your comments and
best of all, we're just fucking getting started.
so we will see you in the next one.